Hello, what we're going to talk about today is leaking radiator valves. Two of the most common places where they will leak. The first one is on what they call the union nut. So that is the nut that connects the actual radiator valve to the radiator itself. The second one is the bottom connection here, which can be the inlet or the outlet depending whether this is the flow or return, but that doesn't matter at this point. So these are the two main places for leakage. Now, reasons why they can start to leak is because if the radiator has been knocked by children or furniture, or you've been decorating, taking it off, putting it back, there's all kinds of reasons why it can start to leak there. And that can actually disturb both of these joints. But first of all, we're going to talk about this union joint here. Now, another reason that they can actually start leaking is because they've not been tightened up properly in the first place, and that's because people would tend to generally use tools like this, an ordinary shifting spanner which fits on the nut. That's actually okay, there's nothing wrong with them whatsoever, okay to use them. But the other thing is, when you're actually tightening that nut up, you need a tremendous amount of pressure sometimes, whether you're tightening it up or disconnecting it. It's critical that you hold that valve steady, in line with the pipe. So actually, before you actually tighten up, you must look down the side here and check that the valve is in line with the pipe. It mustn't be like that, and it mustn't be like that. It must be dead in line. And when you're tightening it up, that must remain in line with the pipe. So like I say, these type of tools, you can use, these are water pump pliers. You can use water pump pliers. Some people use water pump pliers, Stiltsons, footprints, or mole grips. They're not perfect because you have to grab hold of it like that and try and hold it, and you're trying to squeeze it and use a lot of pressure to squeeze it on. And the other problem is with these is if you look inside here, you can see teeth marks, which they're designed to actually grip metal, and they do it very well. Unfortunately, they dig into the soft brass. That's a nice chrome finish on there, and it causes unsightly marks, which you don't want to do. So we're going to get rid of them, and we're looking here, which is the Rad Kit Pro. Now in the Rad Kit Pro you get a union splitter kit, and what you get here is a rad spanner, which is got two ends on it, 3/4 and 1/2 inch end, which will actually fit any type of radiator valve depending on the size, because some of these nuts can be actually bigger, but on this case they're both 1/2 inch. And more importantly, you get this rad wrench. Now the rad wrench is a very hard plastic. It's glass filled nylon 66. It's incredibly strong, and if you look inside there on the edges, it's nice and radiused and rounded on both ends, and that's specifically designed so that when you put it over the valve like that, it does not mark the valve. It will not cause teeth marks or any kind of marks whatsoever, and it gives incredible pulling power or grip. So I'm going to show you now what we'll do. First thing, we'll put the rad wrench on, just checking that is actually in line, and in this case we're pushing the rad wrench down to counter the pressure we're using with the spanner. So you hold that down and pull that up and just give it 1/4 of a turn like that, and that's not moved one millimetre. That's stayed exactly right. So you can give it an off. Don't go overboard on it, because if you go overboard, you're going to damage it, and you'll be into further problems. So just get a dry tissue, a nice clean dry tissue, and just wipe it underneath there, and just check it every few minutes just to see it stop dripping. Now the other one is, after you've done that, is to this one underneath here. Now this one's easier to actually deal with. Just all you got to do is put your spanner on, and in this case move the spanner from left to right, which is screwing the nut up. Just support the head like that and give it a turn like that, about 1/4 of a turn, and then again get your tissue, mop it up, and just check it every few minutes. And also try this when it's hot and cold, because it can make a difference when it gets heated up. Do it when it's hot and cold. Like I say, check it every few minutes. If it stops dripping, all well and good. If it carries on dripping or the drip gets worse as you tighten it, unfortunately you're going to have to drain off the whole system and take the valve off and redo the connections. But yeah, if you use the Union splitter kit, correct tools will give you the correct results every time. Thanks very much for watching.